Security?
Yeah. I mean, what does he call his security? His
having
knowledge?
something, no, having something to which you can cling to and which is not perishable. It may perish eventually, but at the time, for the time being, it is there to hold on.
Yeah. You can feel that it's permanent. You see, like somebody in the past, people used to accumulate gold because gold is the symbol of the imperishable. They could feel that gold.
We still have people accumulating gold. We got businessmen. They got money.
That gold
in the field.
really, you feel it's really there. You know, it'll never corrode. It will never vanish.
Yeah.
And you can count on it. You know.
Yeah. So it's something that I can count on. That's what.
Count on, hold on to, cling to,
Mm.
be attached
believe
to.
in
Exactly.
the me. And I know that I am a doctor. I can depend on that.
Knowledge.
Right, knowledge.
Experience.
Experience.
And the other hand, tradition.
Tradition. I know that if I do this with a patient that I'll get this result. I might not get any good results, but I'll get this result.
Yes. So I think that's fairly clear.
But yes, it's clear enough that we have that. You see, that's part of the society.
Part of our condition.
Our conditioning, that we want something secure and permanent. At least we think so.
We want immortality. I think you see Krishnaji's point about the Eastern world. There is, I think, a feeling in the West of wanting immortality.
It's the same
thing.
Well, wouldn't you say that insofar as thought can project time, that it wants to be able to project everything all right in the future as far as possible?
That's what I meant when I said loneliness. If I don't have to have my loneliness.
But you see, in other words, the anticipation of what is coming is already the present feeling. See, if you can anticipate that something bad may come, you already feel bad, right? Is that something?
That's right.
Right.
Therefore, you would like to get rid of that.
So you would like to anticipate that it won't happen.
It'll all be good.
Right.
You know, I should say security would be the anticipation that everything will be good, in the
That
future.
will be all right.
Will continue.
Or it will become better. If it's not so good now, it will become good with absolute certainty.
So then security is becoming.
Yes, becoming, perfecting, becoming.
I was thinking of what you were saying the other day about the Brahman. Anybody can become a Brahman. Then that gives him security. If I know I can.
That is a projected belief, a projected idea, a comforting, satisfying concept.
Right. You see, I see patients all the time. You know what their projected belief is? I will become. I will find somebody to love me. I see patients who say, I will become the chief of the department. I will become the most famous doctor, one man said. I will become, and his whole life goes like that. Of course, it's also all focused on being the best tennis player. The best.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it seems it's all focused on anticipating that life is going to be good. Would you say that?
Yes, life is going to be good.
But it seems to me you wouldn't raise the question unless you had a lot of experience that life is not so good. I mean, in other words, that it's a reaction to having had so much experience of disappointment or suffering. Or
Would you say that we are not conscious of the whole movement of thought?
No, but I mean, I think to most people they would say that's only very natural. I mean, I've had a lot of experience of suffering and disappointment and danger, and that's unpleasant, and I would like to be able to anticipate that everything is going to be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would seem, I mean, at first sight it would seem that that's really quite natural. But I mean, you're saying it's not now. Something is deeply wrong with it.
Yes, we are saying there is no such thing as psychological security.
Yeah.
We have defined what we mean by security.
Yes.
We don't have to beat it over.
No. I think we've got that.
Yes, right. But is it clear now that, you see, these hopes are really vain hopes? I mean, that should be obvious, shouldn't it? I mean,
that I think is a good question. You mean, is it... there is, you see, Krishnaji, he's raising a good question. It's this whole business you're saying, is it meaningful to look for security? Is there such a thing?
So there is death at the end of everything.
Yes. Well...
You want to be secure for the next 10 years, that's all. Or 50 years. Afterwards, it doesn't matter. Or it does matter, then you believe in something. that there is God, you'll sit next to God on his right hand, or whatever it is you believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to find out, not only if there is no permanency psychologically, which means no tomorrow psychologically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that hasn't yet come out clearly.
Of course.
You see, I mean, we can say empirically we know that these hopes for security are false because, first of all, you say there's death. Secondly, no, you can't count on anything. No matter materially, everything changes.
Everything
Socially,
is in flux.
Mentally, everything in your head is changing all the time. You
Yeah.
see. You can't count on your feelings. You can't count on enjoying a certain thing that you enjoy now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can't count on being healthy. You can't count on the money.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't rely on your wife, you can't rely on nothing.
Right.
So that's a fact, but I'm saying you're suggesting something deeper.
Yes.
It seems to me. I mean, we don't base ourselves only on that observed
No,
fact.
no, that's very superficial.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm with you there.
So is there then, if there is no real security, basic, deep, then is there a tomorrow? Psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take away all hope. If there is no tomorrow,
Right.
you take away all hope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you mean by tomorrow is the tomorrow in which things will get better. I mean,
Get better, with better, more, greater success, greater understanding, greater
more love. And so on.
more love. The whole business.
I think that's a little quick, that jump. And I think that there's a jump there because as I hear you, I hear you saying there is no security.
But it is so.
It is so. But for me to say, or for to really say, look, I know there's no security.
Why don't you say that? I'm not,
That's what I'm getting at. Why don't I say that?
Well, isn't it a
Why do you
fact that
think
there's
I
no?
don't?
I don't know. Isn't it first of all a fact that just an observed fact that there isn't anything you could count on psychologically?
Right, but you see, I think there's an action there that Krishnaji is saying, well, why don't you?
Why don't what?
Why don't you? He says, why don't you say there's no security? Why don't I?
Do you rationalize what we are saying about security? Say yes, as an idea, or actually so?
I actually say it so, but then I say, well, I'll keep doing it, I'll keep doing it.
No. We're asking, do you, when you hear there is no security, is it an abstracted idea? Or an actual fact, like that table, like your hand there, or those flowers?
I think it mostly becomes an idea.
That's just it.
Well, why should it become an idea?
Yeah, that's
That,
why.
I think, is the question. Why does it become an idea?
Is it part of your training?
Yes. Part of my conditioning.
Part of real objection to see things as they are.
Right. That's right. Because it moves. It feels like it moves then. Do you feel that?
Well, it seems if you see that there is no security, then the self. Well, I mean, it seems that. You see, first of all, let's try to put it that. There's something which seems to be there, which is trying to protect itself. Namely, let's say that it seems to be a fact that the self is there, if you see what I'm driving here.
Of course.
And if the self is there, it requires security. And therefore, this creates a resistance to accepting that as a fact and puts it as an idea only. You see what I mean? It seems that the factuality of the self being there has not been denied. You see, the apparent factuality. Yeah.
Right. But why hasn't it been?
No,
Why do you think it hasn't been? I mean, what happens?
is it that you refuse to see things as they are? is it that one refuses to see that one is stupid? Not you. I mean, one is stupid. That to acknowledge that one is stupid is already, you follow?
Yes, yes. I mean, it's like you say to me, you refuse to acknowledge you're stupid. Let's say it's me. What is that means that I got to do something, it feels
No.
like. I mean, something happens to me.
Not yet. Action comes through perception, not through ideation.
Right. I'm glad you're getting into this. Yeah.
But doesn't it seem that as long as there is the sense of self, the self must say that it is perfect, eternal, and so on? Do you see?
Of course, of course.
But what do you think it is? What makes it so hard to say? Is this what you mean, by the way, when you talk about the destruction in creation?
Yes,
in other words,
yes.
is there something here about the destruction that I'm not?
You must destroy that.
I must
thing.
destroy that. Now, what makes it hard for me to destroy? I mean, destroy this need for security. Why can't I do it?
No, no, it's not how you can do it. You see, you're already entering into the realm of action.
Yes, that I think is a crucial point.
But I'm not. I should first see it. And from that perception, action is inevitable.
Yeah, that I think is crucial. All right, now, to see insecurity, do you see insecurity? What do you actually see it?
What?
Insecurity. That there is,
No. No. Do
Yeah.
you actually see?
there is no security.
No, that you are clinging to something, believe all the rest of it, which gives you security.
Okay.
I cling to this house.
Right.
That I'm safe. It
Yes.
gives me a sense of my house.
Yes.
My father.
Place to go.
I mean, it gives me
Right.
pride, it gives me a sense of possession, it gives me a sense of physical and therefore psychological security.
Right. And a place to go.
A place to go. But I may walk out and be killed. And I've lost everything.
Yeah.
There might be earthquake and everything gone. Do you actually see it?
I actually...
I mean, you do. So go to a poor man. He says, of course, I have no security. But he wants it. His security says, well, give me a good job, beer, and constant work, and a house, and a good wife and children. That's my security.
Right. Right. Well, that...
When there is a strike, he feels lost.
Yeah.
But he's got a union behind him.
Right. 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 And he thinks he's secure.
Secure. And that movement of security enters into the psychological field. It's my wife, I believe in God, I don't believe in God, if I'm a good communist, I will have a good people, the whole thing. Do you see it? You see, the seeing or the perception of that is total action with regard to security.
I can see that is the total action.
No, that's an idea, still.
Yeah, you're right. I begin to see that this. I begin to see that this belief, this whole structure, begins to be the whole way that I see everything in the world. Right?
Right.
I begin to see her, the wife, or I begin to see these people, all they fit into that structure.
You see them, your wife, through the image you have about them.
Right. and to the function they're
Well,
serving.
their relation to me, yes.
Yes.
That's right. That's the function they serve.
The picture, the image, the conclusion is the security.
That's right.
Yes, but you see, why does it present itself as so real? You see, there is a, I see that there is a thought, you see, a process of thought which is driving on, say, continually.
Are you asking, why has this image, this conclusion, this all the rest of it, become so fantastically real?
Yes, it seems to be standing there real. Everything is referred to it, you see.
More real than the marbles, than the hills, than
anything. Yeah.
More real than anything.
Why?
I think it's hard to say why, except that it seems to, because it would give me security. I think it would give me security.
No, because, you see, suppose abstractly and as an idea we can see the whole thing has no security at all, right? I mean, just looking at it rationally and abstractly.
But that's putting the cart before the horse.
Well, no, I'm just saying that if it were some simple matter and giving that much proof, you would already have accepted it, you see. I mean, if this...
Right.
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 I mean, but when it comes to this, no proof seems to work.
Right. Nothing seems to work.
Because there seems that you say all that, but here I am presented with the solid reality of myself and my security, which seems to deny. See, there's a sort of a reaction as if I'm saying, well, that may be plausible, but it's only words. The real thing is me. Do you see? That's the sort of now.
Well, there's more than that to it. Why it has such potence? I mean, why it seems to take on such importance?
Well, maybe, but I'm saying that it seems that the real thing is me, which is all important, right?
Right. There's no question about it. Me is important.
Which is an idea.
But it doesn't, we can say abstractly it's an idea. The question is, how do you break into this process?
I think we can break into it, or break through it, or get beyond it. Only through perception.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because otherwise every thought is involved in that.
It's part of it, because I want to get through it because it'll make me feel better. Right.
And the trouble is that all that we've been talking about is in the form of ideas. They may be correct ideas, but they won't break into this.
Right.
Because this dominates the whole of thought.
That's right. I mean, you could even ask, why are we here? Are we here because we wanted to...
No, sir, look, if I feel my security lies in some image I have, a picture, a symbol, a conclusion, an ideal and so on, I would put it not as an abstraction, but bring it down. See, it is so. I believe in something.
Right.
Actually, now you say, why do I believe?
Well, have you actually done that? I mean,
yeah, no, I haven't, because I have no belief. I have no picture. I don't go in for all that kind of game.
Yeah.
I said, if,
right.
Then I would bring the abstracted thing into a perceptive reality.
To see my belief, is that...
See it.
To see my belief, right. To see that me in operation.
Yes, if you like to put it that way. So, wait a minute, take a simple thing. Have you a conclusion about something? Conclusion. A concept.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I think I do.
Now, wait a minute. How is that brought about?
Well, through...
Take a simple thing, not complicated.
Right.
Take a simple thing. A concept that I am an Englishman.
Well, no,
the trouble is that we probably don't feel attached to those concepts.
All right.
I mean...
all right, let's move.
Let's take one that I think I like to do. Let's take me. Let's take the one about being a doctor. That's easy.
A concept.
That's a concept. Now that's a conclusion based on training, based on experience, based on the enjoyment of the work.
Which means what? A doctor means, the conclusion means he is capable of certain activity.
Right. Okay, let's take it concretely.
Work at
Okay.
it.
All right. So now I've got the fact that there's a concrete fact that I've had this training, I get this pleasure from the work, I
All
get
the
this
rest
kind
of
of feedback, I got a whole community of feed-in.
Yes, yes.
Books
Move.
I've written, papers, positions I
Move,
hold.
move.
All right, all that.
Yes,
All right, now that's my belief.
yes,
I mean, that belief that I'm a doctor is based on all of that.
Yes.
That concept. Okay, now I continually act to continue that.
yes, that's understood.
Okay,
You
Yeah.
Therefore, you have a conclusion.
I got a
You have a concept that you are a doctor.
right.
Because based on knowledge, experience,
Right.
everyday activity,
Right, right,
pleasure and all the rest of it.
right.
So, what is real in that? What is true in that? Real, let's keep real in the sense
What do you mean?
actual.
Well, that's a good question. What is actual? What do you
No,
mean?
but it's so simple. What is actual in that? Your training,
Right,
your knowledge,
right,
your daily operation.
right.
That's all. The rest is a conclusion.
But what is the rest now? Could we?
The rest, I'm very much better than somebody else.
Right.
Or else this thing is going to keep me occupied in a good way.
Good way. I'll never be lonely.
Right. I know about what's going to happen
Yeah.
to
So-
X because I have this
Yeah.
knowledge.
So,
Right.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, but
of course, much more.
Right. So go ahead. I want to hear what
but
you
isn't
say.
there also a certain fear that that if I don't have this,
Of course, of course.
then things will be pretty bad, you know.
Right. Okay.
And that fear seems to
And-
spur on the.
Of course. And if the patients don't turn up,
Then
Yeah,
what?
then I have no
fear.
more
Right. Fear. Then no activity.
No
right.
activity.
So loneliness, back.
Right. Back again.
Back.
Right. That's right.
So be occupied.
Be occupied doing this, completing this concept. Okay?
Yes.